They used it in your grades last year. Yeah, see if I try the banner.
Hello, everyone.
It's the same thing. Well, I was stored.
We are having some technical difficulties, so bear with us for a few minutes.
Are you in a workshop, man?
I will be.
Is it that fostering connections?
Mine is faculty self-service banner 9.
I was gonna get into another one, but I want us to both be conflicting, so I'll just pass.
Yeah, Nick, I think I may need to kick it a little harder this time. Was Christy coming? All right. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? We've had a few technical difficulties here today. The system that was set up here is not working, so I switched to my laptop. So I don't know that if for those of you who are speaking on Zoom, if you'll be able to speak to the entire class here. It's not giving me the option to connect to the system here. There's that. And then also, just to let you guys know, we have been trying to get access to Banner 9 so that we can mess with it pretty much since last fall. In working with the district, our goal was to have a series of videos ready to go out to everybody at the beginning of this semester. However, the people that we had connection with at the district couldn't get it working the way we needed to. So we actually needed to connect with the person from Ellucian, who is helping install it and do all of those things. And that person is not available until later this spring. So I have actually not had access to Banner 9 since end of last semester, and that was a very limited access. So we're going to do our best today with what we have. Christy and I decided that we should probably run this workshop anyway, even though we don't have the details, because what would be beneficial to us is to be able to walk away with a series of questions that we can ask the people when we actually get the training, so that we actually have sort of an informed response when we come back, rather than just kind of like, you know, a Hail Mary pass out of everything. Okie doke. So let me go ahead and we are actually, Chris in here is letting us use his Banner 9 instance today, because as I said, I do not have access to Banner 9 currently. Okay, so essentially the way that you get into Banner 9 is you can go through, once you get into Inside BC, if you go to My BandWeb and you select Faculty 9 faculty service or Banner 9 faculty services, go ahead and that'll take you to this faculty services page. Doke. Sorry, just organizing my page here. And just a reminder, if you do send me a private chat, a direct chat in Zoom, it will be up on the board for all to see. But just so you know, Sean Newsom and I go back and forth. He is Lord Newsom, and I am, as you all know, Lord Matthias. So that is something that... Okay. So this is the new interface of Faculty Services Banner 9. And if we're actually using Chris's account, as I stated, and we sent out a video about going into final grades. So once you click on it, we'll go start with enter final grades, and we'll kind of go down the list. It's pretty straightforward. This gives you a list of your classes, and the ones that you can click into, once you do, they pop up below. And on the, let's see if I can do this way. So obviously you're going to see several columns. You're going to have the student's full name here and their IDs. Now, the ones that you need to put in the dates for, are going to tell you by saying this right here. Please provide last date of attendance. And then they will give you the field where you can enter in the last date attended. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Once you give a final grade, and we don't have the Dropbox here, but let's say you needed to give an incomplete. If you give an incomplete, down below all of this, so let's say here, if we gave an incomplete, it actually gives you another field right here where you can change the date, or sorry, change the grade, and you can also add the extension down here. So that's how incompletes work within Banner 9. Let me clear these drawings. And then, of course, you would save. I'm not going to do that here. Now, when it comes to Banner 9, one really nice thing is, notice up here at the very top, there is a gear cog. If you click on that, you actually get a whole bunch of options, one of which you can actually export your grades from Canvas, and you can import them into Banner 9 by coming to the gear cog and saying import. And then it will walk you through a step where you actually import your spreadsheet that you exported from Banner or from Canvas gradebook. You export that from Canvas gradebook, you pull it into Banner 9, and then now that will populate your grades accordingly in Banner 9. So you're not having to do it one by one. Nope, that's the idea of the tool. The challenge is, and it's pretty similar, is you have to make sure that that the spreadsheet has the proper data, right? Like the columns are listed the same. If this one asks for student name and this one doesn't have that then obviously it won't transfer over. So when you open up what's exported from Canvas, look at it, and you can actually download an export template here. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, and we can look at it together.
You still should check though.
Yes. Export template. Okay. Yeah, David.
What is Banner 9 using to match the grades for student? Is it using student name or student ID? Like which field is it matching those?
I believe it's student ID, and I don't think that that's the only field that the spreadsheet needs to have on it.
Okay.
Yep. I'm just downloading that spreadsheet so we can take a look at it.
Does it matter if it's the XL, XLS or the other one? Does it matter? I noticed there were two options.
I don't think so. Is that Lisa?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Lisa.
How are you?
Good.
How are the babies?
Oh, they are doing good. I was telling Harlan when he walked in just now, you know, they've our twins have started crawling and standing, and I don't think I've sat down in like 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. And I really spend a lot of time wondering how humans have survived for so long, because we start off not being able to hold up our own heads. All parental resources go towards the kids, and then the first thing the kids go for are like the outlets and the things that will kill them. Yep. There we go. I will look at that as soon as we can drop down into that next menu. Real quick, let me just show the spreadsheet. So this is what the export template pops up looking like. So you get a term, so it's the term code, CRN, full name, student ID, has it rolled, confidential course, final grade, last date attended. So there's quite a few fields. But it is a nice feature. They've told us that it should work fairly seamlessly. At least that's what they said in that half-day training they sent us to. Yeah. So it depends. We'd have to export the Canvas gradebook export and see what fields are present in there. Yeah, so then you probably have to come to this initial spreadsheet, the template, and then add grades there and then import that. Yeah, we haven't really explored it, to be honest with you. Yeah. Okie doke. Let me go ahead and come back here. Yeah, so this is what I figured. So I'm running into this issue personally too, but so is Chris. So once you have the class up there, what's going to happen is it's going to highlight the days of the week that you are offering that class. When you go into the class for each and every student, you're going to have a series of columns for each day. Each day is going to have a little radial circle button in that field. If you click on that, it basically takes attendance for that student being there. And what it also does is on the right-hand side of the menu, it pops up another menu, which then allows you to add feedback about the student's attendance, or if they were absent. It also allows you to select and make sure that the student, or if it was an excused absence, you can select it as excused. So there are different things you can do. Like I said, we haven't had access to this yet. So yeah. So this comes from when you go into faculty self-service banner. So it's MyBan Web. From that, it should say like over on the far left-hand corner. Let me see if I can pull it up on my own. I don't want to undo Chris's. Okay. Everybody on Zoom, can you see Inside BC real quick on my screen? Okay. So where we're going is banner 9 self-service right here. If you drop into faculty self-service, it will then take you into these options here. But just a note, if you want to play around with it, this is live. This is the actual data that's in the system. This isn't, if you do something, you might have to work with A&R to fix it. Yeah. Which is, for today's training, I was going to show you, if I come into tools and banner instances, normally I get access to a development site so that I can show you things, but that is what they have not given me access to yet. Yes, John. Hey, John.
Hi, Matt. I'm back again.
Yeah, good to hear your voice.
I've already been poking around even before this session, and one of the
Okay.
things that I've noticed right off the bat that doesn't work for me and anybody who's going to be teaching hybrid or online is there is no contact information in the class lists. There's no emails, no phone numbers, nothing,
Okay.
just names.
And that's class list, you said, John?
Yes, sir. That's a major problem.
Okay.
I can't use it until that information is included. How
Okay,
soon does
perfect.
this go live? Where we're forced
Um,
to use this?
From my understanding, it was entering final grades and all that was live as early as last semester.
I mean, but how soon can we not use Banner 8 and forced to use this?
That I don't know yet, but I know it's soon. My guess is probably by fall, if not this semester. So we will reconnect with them, as soon as we can and get that out to everybody, let everybody know.
Yeah, really important. That's got to be fixed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So that's good. John, just to let you know, I did take down that note. So when we go back to them, I will bring that to their attention. Starfish. Okay, so let's see if we have access to any of these things.
Are you saying that the information about email and contact address is not on the new banner? Is that what-
I believe what he's saying, and John, correct me if I'm wrong. If we come back here to class list,
Yeah, exactly.
Hit the-
Yeah.
like, B1,
You got to close that,
all the way up far.
and you got to like double click on I think the whole line.
there we
There you go.
And so you're saying up here, there's no contact information.
Yeah, there's no emails, no phone numbers. In Banner 8, the emails and phone numbers are listed right there. And also we have another thing that's missing is the convenience of being able to click on, the email list for all of them to be able to send out an email blast to the whole class rather than individually.
Okay, so my question is, so if I were to come here and let's say I want to send an email to everybody here and I select all students, right?
Uh-huh.
I'll just select one for now. Orange Sheen, apparently. And if I click email, it looks like it's then going to take me to my Microsoft Outlook once I sign in, and then that's how I would email the students.
Okay, that's fine if that actually works, but definitely still need phone numbers because I use text to communicate with my students quite often. I'm in Delano and most everybody has to commute. So on those rare occasions where I can't make it to Delano, I need to cancel. I need to let my students know, like right now, they may not, you know how students are with emails, so we don't have to go into that. I text them, I text all of them and let them know that class is canceled so that nobody, unnecessarily commutes all the way to Delano for nothing.
Okay, all right, I took note of that. So phone numbers, so that text is available, I'll bring that to them. I added that to the list.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was finding that too. Yeah. Yeah, that might be it. So this doesn't open till the 18th, so that's might be part of it, but that doesn't, but then pedagogically, that goes against our recommendation for pre-course contact, so, yeah. Hmm.
You know, what about the canvas, canvas shell, you just have to use your canvas and box.
Right, because Canvas is all.
And I think you're welcome to have those, and you can, you know, an entire class or.
Okay. Yes.
From that downstairs was fine with this, he told me, and he brought up that I can see where it's a wait list. It lists students alphabetically, not as their like priority of when they'll work.
Ah, okay. That's perfect, thank you. Just what we want, right?
Good.
Because my guess is it doesn't list their priority registration and that's in its order.
So based on this, it's all that.
No, I believe I will bring that up again, but I know that in our training, the 1 day thing that we went through is that was brought up, and Anthony, the tech guy, did say that that's just a view. It doesn't necessarily relate to the priority list, but I will double check that and make sure that is true. Yeah. Right, where am I on the list? And yeah. Do I have a chance of getting in?
Good. Reading it back to the.
Nope, not that I'm aware of. Yes, Angie, question.
Is there a way to print your class list similarly to how you could do it in the old banner?
Oh, sort of like, let's see.
So like you could take attendance and things like that?
Yeah.
Because when I try to print, it gives me everything, like exactly like what it looks like on your screen right now.
Okay, so when you click print, it gives you everything. And if you export, have you seen what the export gives you?
I did not try that, no.
Okay, let me try that real quick. I'll export that.
I'm curious about how often you know.
Yeah, if you hit the 4 squares, it goes right back to banner 8.
Yeah, because the old system.
Little 4 squares up by the banner there, up at the top, you hit that, it takes you to banner 8.
And I found another way to get the old system too. And just clicking on there. And then to get back to the new system, you have to go all the way back.
That's what's on the page.
Yep, no, Angie, you're right. It's just what's on the page. Doesn't even give the emails. Okay.
Okay, because in the current banner, there's a way to, it gives you the option for a print friendly roll sheet or something like that.
Right,
And
right.
I use that all the time.
I do too, Ange.
So do we.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be helpful.
Is that way we could see the box students?
Oh, right, right. Yeah, to help, yeah, look through that. I'll bring that up to Christy today once we're done here. Yeah, and it was also nice because then you could also just highlight the emails and send that out real quick. Yeah, okay.
Box is fairly under control.
Okay.
That's what we heard, at the board, they were saying like they found like 12 spots in this one, so it seemed like they had it much more controlled. But it's also useful if you have a student that's, sign up for the normal class. And then you can see.
Yes, Dr. Rebecca Sims.
Will you be going over how to increase the seats and how to drop students?
I will not today anyway. I don't even think I have access to do any of that, to be honest. Yep.
Okay. So they're not expecting us to use that or to do that for spring, or how are we gonna handle spring?
If you can do it the old way for spring, I would probably stay doing it the old way. The big thing that we're running into with Banner 9, well, one is that none of us have been trained on it, and the people that are leading the effort don't have access to the things that they need, so they can't give us access. So really, as you can probably tell, it's been a little bit of a cluster. We were actually going to hold a workshop last fall, towards the end of fall about it, and we canceled that because everything had broken apart. So really, it's one of those measures that I feel like is being driven without, we're building the plane as we fly it.
Gotcha.
Right there.
Yep.
Got wings and a motor, but nothing else holding it together.
Let's see if I can get into any of these. So yes, so I would say, even just trying to get into census drop roster, I don't have access to that right now. And that I'm not even using mine. I'm still in Chris's. So I can see his list of classes. Let's see if I can hop in anywhere. You see, I'm able to click on things to get information, but I'm not actually able to get into the session itself. One more here.
It's not even opening it up in the drop.
Yeah, it doesn't, that's what I've been clicking on. It doesn't take me in. Yeah. So Chris, you cannot get into your class.
Right, because it says that opening day roster isn't available till the 21st. Where it says available.
We start the 18th, right?
Right, so I can't drop until the 21st.
That's a little. Yeah, 2 days
After the start of class.
Yeah. And there's no more button stop additions.
I see it, we'll see the roster though, why?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
First to see it.
Yeah, haven't. How do you go to it from here?
No,
Go back
gotta
to the
go.
beginning. Class list.
Yep. Yeah, we spent time in class list. Yeah. Yeah, we were looking at census drop roster.
Yeah, it's not available until 2 days after, 3 days after the class.
Yes, so
I think the old way, I don't think we were given a specific date, but it was clear to us that the little training that we had was, it will be vanishing as the way this semester for sure, but it sounded like that they didn't give us a specific date, but it will be Banner 9 this semester. That we had access to the old one for the fall, but that soon, not operationally defined, is this semester. So.
And in between, and to let you know, the level to which, at least from academic tech, we've been brought in is Dan Hall and I will be in a training with Anthony, the guy from Ellucian, who's helping install this in our KCCD instance. Our goal is to get training with him. And then Dan and I will not only be delivering workshops, but we also will be creating a series of videos for the entire district showing how to do all of this. That was something that was a goal to be done by the end of last fall, but the access that we had to things and the training that they had to give us those wasn't substantial enough for that to happen. So that's something that's supposed to be happening, hopefully starting next week as we'll start these conversations again. Knowing that we weren't going to have access to pretty much anything today, we decided to come in and at least show what it looks like. But as you can see, we don't have access to most of it anyway. So we thought we could take questions, see what we could gather. Yeah, Carl. Yes.
I'm gonna have a department meeting with my faculty on Thursday, and I'm gonna talk about Banner 9. What can I tell them in terms of how long I'll have access to the old version? So I'm gonna do my best to provide some type of insight and training on it, but.
Sorry, real quick. Those of you on Zoom, are you able to hear the questions being asked here in the classroom? Okay, so Carl Dean just asked, Christy Howell just walked in, Dean Christy Howell. And Carl's going to be holding a department meeting on Thursday for his athletic department. And he wants to go over Banner 9, but he wants to be able to tell them how long they have access to the old one before Banner 9 goes away. Before Banner 8 goes away, sorry.
Oh, I don't have a good answer for you. I was told last semester that Banner 8 would be gone at the beginning of this semester. So, but it doesn't seem like Banner 9 is ready. So I think the district is working on it. It's not even our people on campus that are working on it, it's the district. And so as soon as they give me a definitive answer, we'll spread it. You'll notice this was originally canceled because we didn't have access, but then we decided, well, let's show them what we have. Because you need to be able to find your roll sheets. We know for sure you're gonna be able to do grades here. That's it. So, well, you can see the roll sheet? Can you see where to drop students yet? Is that open yet?
I don't have access to it.
Yeah.
I assume, I mean, what we were told last semester is that this is how you're dropping your students this next, like Saturday, when they no show for your online class or whatever your deadline is.
If you go in.
Can you guys online hear Christy?
So,
Okay.
so when? The 21st? So I would say use banner 8 at least until the 21st. As soon as, I'll send an email today and say we tried to do a training and it wasn't very successful. Thank you very
We
much.
can't hear it.
But, due to the lack of access, and see if they can give me an updated deadline. But I mean, they gave us a bunch of training at the end of fall and said, be ready. We had Matt go to the trainings, be ready. And I think we've just hit a computer glitch. You know, computers can be wonderful. They can also be a little frustrating.
I wouldn't say it's unsuccessful because we were able to share with Matt some of the things that we're looking for. You know, like the addresses, the phone numbers.
Yep.
You know, I know for me, the addresses help me out, because I'm like, I know you don't live in Santa Clara, you coming all the way to Bakersfield for my class. So, you know what I'm saying?
So
What questions to ask?
those of you online, just to let you know, what was said is that Christy was stating that what she believes, based on what she was told last semester, is that to drop students this semester, the expectation was that we would be using Banner 9. The recommendation is to still be using Banner 8 from Christy as of today until we sort of get this fixed and what else we find. Okay, so look for a BC All email from Christy. And I've taken down a list of questions based on what you guys have brought up to me today. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Well, Ginger and I were just, commenting, when we go to our class list, we have 140, I have 146 sections to look at. It's not my schedule.
Yeah.
So is that a department chair thing, or is that?
Because Jessica, we have hers looked and she got her schedule. So when
I had all my classes.
when Carl and I did the same thing.
Department
we
chair
had-
thing. I bet they gave you different access.
Okay.
They're special.
Do you want them to take that away so that you
I
can
don't
only
see
see those
it.
classes if you
Yeah.
want, like, you could look at by CRM and not just have them.
I'd have to know what they think the advantages are, why I wouldn't receive that.
I think when.
Yeah.
Now, I'm having about,
I should just peel out.
it was something to do with grades, so that if a professor decides to not teach anymore, we can't get a hold of the professor, but we need to know that student's final grade for some reason. For A&R purposes, I think that's what they had mentioned.
I saw Kimberly Bly, do you know why all the chairs might be able to see all the classes? Other than maybe helping with final grades or something, or maybe Nick's on.
We have, as a matter of fact, it's really, I was just going through mine and just random classes show up for no reason. It's gonna be really difficult for chairs, but we have to do things like, contact students if they're like adjunct faculty aren't available. So we have to be able to pull up those rosters to be able to email them or also at them to tell them the class has been canceled or some other changes or announcements for Bridge. I mean, I can't survive without it unless I get a report, which is what I have to do anyway. But yeah, and we were still talking about the limitations of Banner 9 and even as of our last chair meeting. I mean, FCDC, as you know, Christy. So yeah, not having that roster, not being able to, and then being able to not easily find even my own courses in there because they're just everything in there. It's a little difficult.
Okay, I'm gonna send district an email. I'm gonna go to my office right now and go send to one and see, give them this list.
Yeah, it was helpful to have, just, we can enter CRN, we can look at.
Yeah, so not have them all appear when you click, but have it to where you can look it up.
And then Dr. Sims, did you have a question?
My question is if we begin using 8 until, let's say we're in the middle of the semester now, we're required to use 9. Does it send all the information to the new version or how does that work? I'm
Yes.
just concerned because the 18 is the start of the semester.
Well, all you're gonna do in 8 at this point is look up your roster and then maybe drop students after the first day. You need to do those 2 things this first week. That's where,
Got it.
or you need you need student contact information, so in case you wanna, if you're one of those nice professors and they don't show up to your class the first week and you call them, then you could do that, but, so you need those things immediately, but other than that, okay.
You got a list?
I got a list and a copy of your list. I'm
Okay.
gonna send
Okay.
Nice seeing you.
Okay. Any other questions at this point? I mean, obviously, there's probably more questions than answers. Is there anything else you guys want to try to look at while we're here?
I'm pretty sure we already know the answer to this, but you can add it to your list.
Okay.
Do we not have access to student transcripts? I'm guessing that's, since we don't have access to anything, but let's add that back in, because, we a fair amount of unofficial counseling with our students. And for me to be able to see, like, this is their 3rd time taking the class versus not having that information makes a big difference in the appropriate advice that I'm giving.
Okay.
So here's the thing, the instructions you can Google, they're about banner 9 and they do not pertain to anything that we have access to in our banner.
Yep.
So what's up with that?
I know. Yeah. And I'm sure when they install it in each instance, there's probably certain customizations that, Lucian does when they come to this school, because we probably do stuff a little bit differently than another school.
I mean, they all look the same to each other and different from us.
Interesting. Okay. Yes, Nick.
Yeah, I noticed that in banner 9, when you click in that top left corner, there's that little icon that has the 4 small squares there, banner, and then then faculty and advisors. And then if you wanted to do then those like registration, drop, withdraw, or the other ones, it sends you right to banner 8.
Okay. So everybody that's in here, did you see that? Okay. Everybody online, you good with that?
So I think they're acknowledging that with banner 9, they don't have those capabilities yet. So they're sending us back to the banner 8 version.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Nick.
That menu doesn't even come up on mine under the 4 boxes, right?
Yeah, four boxes, and then you probably see it'll say banner. It'll say banner, and then you'd click on that, and then faculty and advisors, just like what Matt's showing there, and then you can then click on those things.
Yeah, click on it, but there's banner 8.
So that's banner 8 right there.
Whoever thought banner 8 would feel like a hug?
I have a question on banner 9's grade book. It has that section at the end where it's comments. Who gets those comments? Who gets access or can read it? And when you put a student's grade in.
Let's see.
Oh, the narrative grade comment?
Yeah.
That box on the right.
Yeah.
What is that for? Or who has access?
Now, I believe, you know what? I'm not going to make any comments about it because I don't remember, nor do I know.
Student has
Yep.
The student does.
Have access to what you have, okay. I mean, it would make sense if you got it incomplete and you want to say, okay, remember, you gotta do the speech or whatever, but that's what I wasn't sure, what we supposed to prepare.
What purpose would that serve? If you're giving the final grade, the semester's over. Why would you need to still come?
only situations that are incomplete, where you have to have them, like, so complete a paper by June 14th. So then the student knows exactly what they're supposed to do by that date. That's an incomplete, not another grade.
Yeah, but usually when you're putting it incomplete, isn't there an option for an additional field open up and then you put all your information there?
Not in January. Or the old banner, there was.
So the question in here was asked about why narrative grade comment was needed. In certain instances, according to Ginger LeBlanc, is that you know, if there's an incomplete or an incomplete, there would be a comment, but then the further discussion was also had that that is actually visible to the students when the narrative grade comment is input.
Is it just for incompletes or any other comments? I mean, it's just a very great comment, which means writing.
No. Yeah.
Excellent.
Seems like a.
Thanks for being in class.
Good job.
Yeah.
Give this.
All right, does anybody else have anything else that they'd like to try to see or have questions about, something that for certain you want me to take back to the training or back to the people to talk about that we haven't covered already?
Did anybody bring up the exception sheet, access to the exception sheet inside of the class list? That would be great.
Okay. Access to. Okay, I'll bring that up. Okay, I added that, John. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for your patience and your understanding. Hopefully we will get this nailed down soon so that we can actually deliver actual training and actual information and resources to you, especially if they're expecting that we're going to be using it soon. So I hope welcome back to spring 2025. See you in another flex session, some of you. Bye.